Daredevil Born Again is one of my most anticipated projects from the future of the MCU. Of course, recently things have been kind of wishy-washy, to say the least. We've lost our trust in Marvel Studios a little bit because it's been so hit or miss. It's been, oh, this project is great. Next one, not so much. Next one, yeah, no, not bad. It's just so back and forth. So this one looks good. Based on these set photos, things are looking good, especially, they did a whole creative overhaul and basically started from scratch after the strikes. So hopefully that will solve all the problems that were going on with this series. But, that is just from what we've heard. We'll see when it actually does eventually come out, but hopefully that will be soon-ish, because originally when it was announced, this series was supposed to debut in the fall of 2024, and it was going to be released in a part 1 and part 2 format. And it was just announced today that they have now officially wrapped filming on this series, which, man, feels like it really kind of went by fast, especially with how many episodes they're going to have. Of course, cut down to now 13 instead of the original announced 18 episodes. But they've officially wrapped now, so it does kind of make me curious, like, are we actually going to get part 1 of Daredevil Born Again this fall? I think that would be incredibly awesome. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath for it, but especially considering this is a show that's not like a She-Hulk or a Loki where it's going to require a whole lot of CGI. It's a very grounded show, so I would not at all be surprised. It's only April, so they have plenty of time to get it out at some point this year. I think that'd be really cool, but anyway, so they wrapped today, or maybe they wrapped last night, but the news came out today. And the other day, we got some really interesting set photos of Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. One of the things I'm most excited to see in this series is the return of the legend. Just one of the best comic book castings I've ever seen. I love Jon Bernthal as the Punisher in Daredevil, and I loved him even more in the Punisher show. Not enough people talk about the Punisher Netflix series, but I really loved it. That Punisher show is my second favorite of the Netflix series. It was so good. I had such a good time with it, and I'm so excited to see that he's coming back to the MCU. Well, now, this time actually officially in the MCU, although those series are confirmed to be canon now. But yeah, so this is great. And we just got some set photos giving us our first look of Jon Bernthal on set as the Punisher. And it just looks so good. And while it hasn't been confirmed officially, there's been rumors that have been swirling. And based off these set photos, all this blood over his face, it does look like this series will be TVMA, which is just, chef's kiss. Absolutely perfect. This is how it should be. Don't Disneyfy it. That's what they did with Kingpin in Hawkeye. But it worked out well with Echo. I mean, that they said it was TVMA, but it didn't always feel like that. But hopefully they go a bit harder with it here and really kind of help restore the original vibe of that Netflix Daredevil series. And Punisher is just a character that needs to be TVMA. You can see he's back in the classic Punisher vest. Love it. He looks fantastic. And seeing him suit up side by side, fight alongside Charlie Cox as Daredevil in this beautiful, new, bright red Daredevil suit, I love it. I mean, this looks awesome. Fantastic. Like, literally, this shot right here of them just in action, it's like, literally, the boys are back in town. I'm just so excited about this. Now, interestingly, we do have this photo as well. So we have Jon Bernthal as the Punisher on set posing for a photo with some actors who are playing police officers in the series. But if you take a closer look at the badges on these officers' sleeves, it does say Anti-Vigilante Task Force, New York City, Mayor Fisk, which has been one of the biggest rumored storylines for this series, is that obviously Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, will be running for mayor. Looks like he's going to be elected as mayor, and one of the first things he's going to do as mayor, just as he does in the comics, in the very recent Devil's Reign comic book storyline, he creates the Anti-Vigilante Task Force, where he basically his whole mayoral campaign is running against vigilantes. And this is something that's been rumored to be possibly set up for a story continuing into the MCU Spider-Man 4 movie, where Kingpin is hunting down all of these street-level vigilantes. Daredevil, Punisher, we know White Tiger is going to be in this series. Then we have Spider-Man and Kate Bishop and Echo and all those characters along those lines. So that is something I'm really incredibly excited to see, and seeing that that's actually come to fruition here is really awesome. But another element that's going to be in play is this. So this is a character from the comics and another recent-ish storyline from the comics where the police are actually taking the Punisher's logo. And they're fans of him, and they like his form of justice, so they think it's showing support, but the Punisher is not happy with them. So this is a character by the name of Cole North, who in the comics is the chief of police, and as you can see, he is using the Punisher's logo. But this shot from the comics just perfectly sums it up. So basically, you have at the top of the panel is these police officers seeing the Punisher and being like, "Oh man, we love you. We even have your logo on our uniforms in our car and all this stuff." And then he takes the logo, rips it off, rips into a bunch of pieces, and then he just says this iconic quote, which is just this is as Punisher as you can get. I'll say this once: we're not the same. You took an oath to uphold the law. You help people. I gave all that up a long time ago. You don't do what I do. Nobody does. You boys need a role model? His name is Captain America, and he'd be happy to have you. Love that line. It's just perfect. And so I'm so excited to see Punisher come into this series. It just works so well with the anti-vigilante stuff and everything that's going on with Mayor Fisk. I'm just so excited to see this. This is so incredibly exciting to see Jon Bernthal back as Punisher, to see him alongside Charlie Cox as Daredevil. This is just incredibly exciting. Again, we may possibly be getting Daredevil Born Again this year in 2024. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but we will see. So for now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about these first looks at Jon Bernthal as the Punisher in Daredevil Born Again? So thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I keep it up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.